Sup, everyone? This is a no save, no damage playthrough of Resident Evil 3 on the American PlayStation version.
It all began as an ordinary day in September. An ordinary day in Raccoon City. A city controlled by Umbrella. No one dared to oppose them, and that lack of strength would ultimately lead to their destruction. I suppose they had to suffer the consequences of their actions, but there would be no forgiveness. If only they had had the courage to fight. It's true that once the wheels of justice begin to turn, nothing can stop them. Nothing. It was Raccoon City's last chance, and my last chance. My last escape.
This is Chopper Delta, preparing to drop off at area E95070. Over.
What are they?
So the objective behind this playthrough is to clear Resident Evil 3 without taking a single hit. Obviously, that means shooting down the zombies that are going to be really tough to dodge, such as this one right here. Too narrow. Better to just throw them on the ground with 4 handgun bullets and just go. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears was gone into making this run. Speed isn't the objective. No damage is already hard enough.
September 28th, daylight. The monsters have overtaken the city. Somehow, I'm still alive. Okay, we've got to get out of here.
What? What do you think you're talking about? I just lost my daughter out there. How dare you tell me to go back outside?
I'm sorry about your daughter, but there isn't going to be any rescue. We have to get out of here.
No! I'm not going anywhere. I'd rather starve to death in here than be eaten by one of those undead monsters! Now leave me alone!
So the first order of business, we're going to grab these handgun bullets here. These handgun bullets are going to be used against the zombies in the basement. We don't really use the handgun for much anything else in this playthrough. There is a strategy for Clock Tower Nemesis where you could use handgun bullets, but I opted to just use the Magnum for that entire fight instead. The handgun is good for killing a few zombies and also parrying Nemesis rockets. Because if you shoot Nemesis at the right time, then he will miss his rockets. But we got these 2 gunpowder A's. The gunpowder A's are going to go towards mixing shotgun shells. Also get rid of the key items there. Not the key items, sorry, the playing manuals. This is the US version on a clean save, so playing manuals appear on your inventory. I should also note that this is the US version. It is the hardest version of the game. So pretty much anything that you see done in this video can also be replicated on a real PlayStation console. I did play this on a PlayStation 2. So when the zombies bust out of here, just keep your distance. They're zombies. There's really not much to it. I could see there were 2 of them there, so that's when I decided to quick turn, make a break for it, and try to space them out a little more. When zombies go into turbo mode like that, zombies have 3 different running speeds. When they go into turbo speed, then, you know, you just, like, don't fuck around with them, with the handgun, at all. I decided to poke them on the ground and make sure they were dead. The handgun is obviously your most economic option, but it's not necessarily the safest option, simply because of how long it takes to kill the zombies. In general, I would say that the less time it takes to kill an enemy while still maintaining your mobility is going to be the safest way to take on zombies. Or failing that, any enemy in the game. You just have to be aware of when enemies are likely to attack. I'm still coming off of a little bit of an adrenaline high, because I seriously didn't think that I was going to get this run tonight, but I did, and now we're here commentating it. So, this zombie over here has a very high chance of going into turbo, so I wanted to just like shoot him in the center, because if he went turbo while I was trying to dodge left or right, then it's like really easy for him to bite me, and then I would have to get sent all the way back to the title screen and, you know, watch all those cutscenes over and over again. And I know you're thinking, you know, Carcy, why would you watch those cutscenes over and over again? Well, it's for all you bastards, you know, because you like to watch cutscenes. I wanted to leave them in a run that is not a speed run for the express purpose of your viewing leisure. So we're just like not even gonna bother wasting ammo on Brad, or on this Brad zombie here.
Get away!
Brad, why isn't someone doing something about this?
No one's trained to handle this kind of situation. What could anyone do? Listen, he's coming for us. We're both gonna die.
What are you saying?
You'll see. He's after STARS members. There's no escape.
So the shotgun, you know, you may be looking at it thinking, you know, well, you're just killing everything. No, it's actually only to take out the zombies that are in difficult patterns to dodge. Basically, any time that I have ever gotten bit by a zombie pattern in a speedrun is going to be a place where I decide to shoot them. So, the American version is slightly harder than the Japanese version. Normally I play on the Japanese version for speedruns because enemies usually take like 1 or 2 less bullets. But in the case of the US version, Nemesis has a total of 900 HP. All the bosses have a total of 900 HP. These dogs, we can just ignore them. So Nemesis first phase is takes slightly more time to kill. So we're grabbing these other gunpowders here. We're gonna drop the handgun. Don't really need it for the rest of the game. It's good for a safety strat against Clock Tower Nemesis, but we don't need it for a long time, and we also don't need that lighter until closer to the end of the game when we go to fight the Gravedigger. Also, I'm not going for all of the Nemesis kills because half of my resets, as a matter of fact, a good 75% of my resets were against one particular Nemesis fight, just the boss Nemesis in the Clock Tower. So actually trying to kill all of them is really, really hard.
Jill!
Brad!
We've gotta... Jill! Help!
No!
Doing no save, no damage, and all Nemesis kills is a colossal pain in the ass. But whoever does it, I will fucking praise your name every day when I wake up. So there's two patterns in the RPD West office here, aka the Marvin room. That zombie moved a little bit out of the way. I got the bad pattern. The good pattern allows me to just run straight to the evidence locker room, but we got the bad pattern where the zombies are directly in the way, so I just killed 2 zombies there to ensure that it's 100% safe for me to run out of the RPD while I'm running away from Nemesis. This is another particularly hard pattern here. I killed the female zombie because she could do like any number of things. Just like go turbo, spin around behind, grab you, and then her buddy further closer to the stairs. Well, he's not difficult to dodge. He did go turbo while I was taking out the female zombie, so wanted to get rid of him too. Just so I don't leave any loose ends.
No! Come anyone! Our platoon is cut off! No survivors found! This is Carlos! Send in support immediately!
So you can either get the grenade launcher or the Magnum in here. Normally I prefer the Magnum because it's a lot easier to kill the drain Demos near the area with the power station very early on. Sorry, I forgot to decrease the volume there. It's okay. This pattern is a little easier on the escape, more difficult on the entrance. But there's generally like 1 or 2 enemy patterns almost per room, pretty much. Making a quick detour into this save room here now that the other zombies have despawned on account of Nemesis showing up. Nemesis is actually extremely easy to dodge around here, so I just grab this gunpowder here. And in order to dodge Nemesis on the way out, you just hold left, hug the wall, and then head to the evidence room. So there's the gunpowder B. Of course, I accidentally combined the gunpowders there, but it actually kind of worked out in my favor a little bit later, I suppose. I was supposed to actually mix up flame rounds by combining an A and a B to make a C, and then combining another A with the C in order to mix up flame rounds. So on exit, I can just squeeze right by that zombie on the ground if I got the bad pattern. It's literally a 0% chance of getting bit as long as you hug the wall there. It's pretty quiet on the way up to the restaurant. But I guess I could go into a little bit of detail about the event scenarios or the event design in Resident Evil 3. Previous Resident Evil games had multiple characters and also multiple paths for multiple characters, but since you're only playing as Jill throughout the course of the game and switching over to Carlos very briefly, there are a lot of live selections and even different events based on which area you visit first. So it kind of adds to the replayability. And the safest pattern, or at least the one that I practiced the most, was going to the restaurant first and the newspaper building second, because I've done it literally a million times speedrunning. These dogs, I go ahead and off them here because I have gotten bit by dogs in these speedruns numerous times. In a speedrun, getting bit by the dog here wouldn't be a run breaker by any stretch of the imagination. You lose like 1 second, but again, the name of the game is no damage, and I just don't want to take damage. Equipping the grenade launcher here because that's all we have against the brain suckers or drain demos. I think they're drain demos. They're essentially the same monster, but still, I wish I would have had flame rounds for this encounter in particular, because flame rounds kill them in one shot without fail. But occasionally grenade rounds will kill them in one shot, and for this particular encounter, it always kills. Actually, I know, I take that back. I have had an occasion where that brain sucker has hit me after tagging it once with a grenade in that particular encounter, but most of the time it works. So that's kind of like my backup strat, in case I, for some reason, forgot to mix the flame rounds, which happens fairly often.
What's that?
Calm down, lady. I'm no zombie. My name's Carlos, Corporal of Umbrella's Biohazard Countermeasure Force. What's your name?
Jill, did you just say you belong to Umbrella's army?
Yeah, we came all the way out here to save you civilians, but the mission went bad the minute we landed.
How did he find me? Over here!
Are you crazy? You could have barbecued both of us!
I need to ask you something. Why did Umbrella send your team here?
Our mission is to rescue the civilians.
How kind of you. Considering Umbrella caused all this in the first place, those liars!
Look, we're just mercenaries, hired hands. No time for talking. If you can believe me, then join us. Think about it.
So, as I mentioned before, different events have different outcomes. We're going to encounter Nemesis here a little while longer. But basically, by choosing to hide in the kitchen, it allows me an easy way to get past Nemesis here. And basically clears the path, for the most part, up to the newspaper office. Or at least makes it more manageable to some degree. There would have been a lot more zombies in the way if I chose to hide in the basement or go to the newspaper building first. If you hid in the basement, then he would have, then it actually would have been probably safer overall, but I also wanted to get some flame rounds later on for the spiders. So here's a particularly trolling moment here. I have to get Nemesis to walk. So I keep resetting the room over and over again until he walks. He could have appeared outside of the save room, and that would have avoided the need to ever do this. But, you know, Nemesis, RNG, and all that. I think this happened a good, I don't know, 10 to 12 times before he actually let me through. It was actually pretty funny that this was the attempt. But there is no right answer for every encounter, because there is no real, I guess, there is nothing that influences the ending overall. Except for the last live selection with Nemesis on the rope bridge, where you can choose which ending you get, which isn't necessarily a better ending or a worse ending. You just get to find Barry at the ending. God, this just happens forever. But yeah, by hiding in the kitchen, Carlos will appear at the gas station, and also Carlos will give you flame rounds when you leave the city area and go to the clock tower, which I needed for the spiders, as I said before. So now that Nemesis is walking, we can just like move a nice little arc around him and just go straight for the double doors here. We're done playing peekaboo. Nothing to worry about going up the stairs, just, you know, do the thing, flick the switch, open the shutter. So Nemesis is going to appear on the way out of here. He'll either walk or run. It's actually a lot riskier to do this strat, but I've practiced it so many times that I never get hit here in general. So he was walking here, and when he gets up to that point, just like a little ways past the table, that's when you run around him. Sometimes Nemesis will just like pop down there and be an asshole, but there's nothing to that. Don't gotta worry about him. Just go. So the area leading up to the cable car, there's 2 rooms with random enemy positions. The first of which is this room. The zombies will either be asleep or awake, and their positions are different overall with each permutation. They woke up there, so I came back to shoot them later. And in front of the cable car, there will either be dogs or zombies. Regardless of whether there's dogs or zombies, I blow up the first barrel. Just wait a second for them to crowd all around it. And the zombies are already going to be crowded by the second barrel, so just blind fire, take them all out. If there was a dog there, then he would have jumped out of the fire either before or after the cable car, and I would have just shot him to death.
You're one of the survivors from the rescue team, right? I just ran into your teammate, Carlos.
How did a girl like you manage to survive?
Hey, I'm no ordinary civvy. I'm a member of STARS.
STARS? You mean the RPD Special Force Team?
Hey, is someone wounded back there? Oh, this looks bad.
They're coming. Get ready. Fire. Fire. Stay together.
Calm down. You're safe now. Everything is gonna be okay.
So Jill, did you decide to help us out? It looks like we're the only ones who survived. We should work together.
No, we can't trust her.
Why? But Sergeant, we need her help. Our unit's down to you, me, and Lieutenant Mikhail. That's it. And Mikhail's hurt bad. If we don't cooperate, we won't be walking away from this mission.
Fine. Then let's go over our plan. We're moving to the clock tower area, which is the designated landing zone for the extraction chopper. Once we get there and give the signal, the chopper will fly in and pull us out.
That's a lot of ground to cover. I don't think we can make it on foot.
The main problem we have is that the landing zone is cut off from here by the fire. So we have no choice but to use this cable car to navigate through it. Fortunately, we can also use it as a moving shield to get us through the worst areas.
That works for me. Good plan, sir.
Okay, people, let's get moving.
Jill, put this on.
For the most part, the shotgun is good against most of the enemies throughout the run. But we still want to get the Magnum as quickly as possible because there's a lot of drain demos on the way up to the pharmacy. So every time you exit this gate, a zombie will always bust out of the wrecked car there. I'm very curious how that car over there just like kind of wrecked to the side, but I guess like something else hit it. It's a very, very narrow passage to be driving around in. And also a very, very peculiar door in the middle of an American city. But either way, if there's two zombies close together, the better option is to fire at waist height instead of at fire at their heads, because in the event that you miss the second zombie, then he may go turbo while you are trying to cock your shotgun, and then he'll bite you. So it's better to just aim at waist height and take them both out, because you're probably going to wind up using 2 shotgun shells regardless. But that's also why we mix up so many shotgun shells to begin with, is so that we can just, take it slow and steady. Most mobs will die in a maximum of 3 shotgun shells. So it's no big deal if we waste a few. Better to waste it at hip height than it is to waste it at head height when you need it.
Jill. Hey, the zombies are getting restless.
I know. I can hear them. What's going on?
Jill!
What's wrong?
They're coming. They must have sniffed us out. They know we're here.
Hey, calm down.
Any objections to my playing hero this time?
What are you doing? Carlos!
There's an extra cutscene here, by the way, if you go to the door. I forgot to trigger it this time, but I'll try to remember to do so whenever I do a kill-all run of the game. As a matter of fact, I should probably do that next. I was going to immediately do Dino Crisis after this, but I think I'll just go ahead and do the kill-all run just to get it out of the way, because I've already done knife only. I can do kill-all. And then I'll be 100% finished with an entire walkthrough series of Resident Evil 3 videos.
Carlos! No!
Relax. I'm not dead yet.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. That hero stuff is harder than it looks.
But yeah, if you went to the door before the explosion, then there would have been this whole Rambo cutscene with Carlos. Jeez, Carlos, lay off the spicy foods.
Ouch, my ears are ringing. We both should be deaf by now. Okay, I'm gonna scrounge up some equipment. There might not be any at our destination.
The next zombie mob over here, gotta angle yourself a little bit to get the triple decap. Although really it'd just be safer to do waist height and kill all 4 of them. But the shotgun can only hit 3 zombies at a time regardless. Doesn't matter if they're all grouped together. You can try to decapitate them all. I don't think there is an angle where you can decapitate 4 of them at once. Pretty sure it's doable in Resident Evil 2, but not in Resident Evil 3.
No!
We're gonna leave and come back to this room so that we only have to use a maximum of 3 shotgun shells coming back. Because there's only like 3 zombies in that entire mob of 6 that actually get in your way. I shot at waist height, and it actually kneecapped the other zombie over there. I'll get to kneecapping mechanics in just a sec. There can either be dogs or crows that bust out of this window over here. Fortunately, I got crows, although it doesn't really matter too much. Because, like, while you're going to and from this area, it's just going to be a straight line and you don't even have to worry about it. But kneecapping zombies does work as a method of killing zombies. They're just not completely 100% dead unless you exit the room and re-enter. So yeah, if you kneecap a zombie, it's already dead. Just exit the room and re-enter, because it's at 0 HP. And the game will only count it as dead afterwards. Otherwise, they'll just crawl towards you. Of course, that zombie that I kneecapped was in the middle of those stairs, so I had to do away with him, because he would have bit my ankle. This is where I wish I had flame rounds in particular. That just barely killed him. And this guy coming down. Man, that was actually really close. I almost lost the run there. Brain suckers actually do spit. They do spit at your feet, and they also cause poison when they do. So regardless of whether I was going for a PB on number of hits, I would have reset there because fuck poison. It would have just looked bad. So for these guys, waist height all the way around, because it's a downward slope. In downward slopes, when you're aiming at waist height, if a zombie is lower than you, then there is a chance of scoring a headshot from a distance. So all you gotta do is just keep on the pressure, 4 or 5 shotgun shells, and you're good. Nemesis can either appear here or in front of the pharmacy, and it's better to get him to appear here by using the emergency exit. Did a quick spot check here for some gunpowders, because I need gunpowder CCC for magnum rounds for the clock tower nemesis fight. The magnum is the safer weapon to use, even though the freeze rounds are stronger against clock tower nemesis. The magnum rounds are going to be safer because otherwise he'll just swag step out of the way unless certain conditions are met. So the puzzle here, to open the fuse door, it's red, blue, blue, blue. To open the door with the other gun that you did not get in the police station, either a grenade launcher or a magnum, you hit red, 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 blue. I'm going to come back for the fuse later once Nemesis is no longer on the map, but it's going to be safer to dodge him this way by just using the emergency exit. Simply because of the dodge patterns, and it's just a lot less to memorize as far as dodging. It's a lot easier for muscle memory. But the reason that I want him to spawn here is 100% to avoid him at the pharmacy, because he has a much higher chance of causing damage to you on the way back to the cable car. Even though using the electricity to kill the zombies lets you get both items early, it's better to play it safe in this case, because, you know, by the time you resume control, Nemesis is just, like, up there, taking pot shots at you with his dinky little rocket launcher. You know, fuck him. Get out of the way. There is another way to get Nemesis to appear at the power station by letting the zombies bust through, but if you let the zombies bust through, then there is an insanely difficult enemy pattern that I think might be pure RNG, so I just didn't worry about it. Or I just prefer to take the time to get the fuse on the way back so that I could avoid that pattern. You gotta run forward a little bit to get that zombie to raise. And yeah, sometimes headshots don't always work. They just, like, knock back. I'm trying to score long-range headshots on these guys. Nice pot shot at the wall there. If Nemesis followed you up the elevator into the previous room, then he'll spawn in this room, and the zombie will not bust out of the car. And that's the last time we see Nemesis for this encounter, so we won't see him until the City Hall segment, close to the end of the uptown-downtown section. Equipping the Magnum here to take out the Drain Demos. By the way, I take back everything I said about Nemesis rocket launcher being dinky. He's actually a huge asshole in the clock tower fight because of his rocket launcher. And there is an RNG element to getting him to waste all of his ammo so that he goes to close range fighting. You may notice that my frames are skipping a little bit. That's because of the upscaler device that I'm using for my PlayStation to record it with. It's a FrameMeister. I recorded this with RGB capture over SCART cables. So sometimes while it's deinterlacing, it likes to jump backwards a little bit. Because Nemesis will not spawn in the pharmacy area, well, I guess I can explain where Nemesis could hit you if he spawned in the pharmacy area. The zombies in that section over there will change positions if Nemesis spawns here, specifically so that the zombies will head you off while you're trying to run away from Nemesis, because, you know, you thought it was that easy to just, like, run around Nemesis. No, it's not. It's not. It's just gonna spawn 2 zombies on top of you. If it's just dogs, then it's no problem, but obviously I would rather increase my chances of getting through there unscathed. But I wanted to take out that one zombie there because I didn't want to just like blindly run back and just like get bit while reading chat. Sometimes the PlayStation 2 likes to hang up on loads here. It's a PlayStation 2 thing, not a game disc thing. Because my disc is in almost pristine condition. But yeah, magnum rounds on those guys. Insta-kill.
Wait!
What did you do?
I had no choice. He was about to turn into a zombie. It would have been a threat, so I eliminated it.
But he was still conscious, wasn't he?
He was as good as dead. And it took fewer bullets to kill him now than it would have if he had transformed.
Nikolai spawns here if you choose to hide in either the newspaper office or the restaurant, taking the courageous route, quote unquote, that puts you supposedly more in harm's way against the Nemesis. There's 2 codes here, or 3 codes here: Adravil, Safsprin, and Aquacure. You can find the solution by watching the TV next to the computer. So the gunpowder bees that spawned at the power station could also spawn here, and also these gunpowder A's could spawn at the gas station. I neglected to mention that earlier. But we want all the gunpowders, all of those gunpowder spawns in order to mix a gunpowder CCC to get more magnum rounds. So for these zombies over here, this is actually the one exception I make to the waist height thing, because I don't want to tag that valve. I could tag the valve, but the reason I don't want to is because the valve runs the risk of them falling on the ground more, and I just like want to 100% make sure that they're all dead. So to get this triple headshot here, you gotta stay on the corner. There's like a 1% chance of a zombie going turbo and actually biting you here. But even if the female zombie on the left goes turbo, there is a very high chance of getting it as long as auto-aim doesn't fuck up. I've had that happen once. But now the path should be pretty clear leading up to the cable car. All we have to do is grab the fuse. There's still a few more enemy spawns in the way. Another live selection. When zombies go turbo, it means that it's when they shamble really fast and they almost run at you. And if you're trying to space them out, it's a problem. Especially while you're trying to decapitate them at close range. Say, for instance, if a zombie is in front of you, you decapitate it, and then its buddy right behind it goes turbo, then he'll just run and grab you before you're finished cocking your gun, and you can fire again. The crows here bust out of the window. Sometimes they can do that earlier or later. If they do it earlier, then you won't have to dodge dogs on the way to the pharmacy. For this life selection here, just choose climb up. Unless you're doing a kill-all run, choose climb up. Because if you choose jump off, then you'll encounter worms at the bottom, and they'll cause damage. Straight up not worth it. Kind of had to do a bit of a double take. What items did I want going up to the train? Although really, I don't even need the shotgun shells that much anymore. Still kept them in my inventory for whatever god-awful reason. Talking to chat too much does that. Just kidding. Love you guys. All of my commentary is recorded live on my Twitch stream. Hi, chat. I'm not ignoring you, I swear to God. So this zombie, on the way back, he'll pop out. There's some grenade rounds in there, but don't really need them that bad. The zombies are still in the area that we went through to get into the power station the first time, so we just take the emergency exit to get back in. Which works out better anyway because it's closer, haha. But if there's one thing that I really, really love about the Resident Evil games, it's the scenario design in the classic Resident Evil games. And semi-off topic, I'm actually very happy that it's returning in Resident Evil 7. Without getting on my soapbox, I'm just going to say pre-order it. It's actually going to be really good. But the scenario design in Resident Evil 3 in particular, because of all the random enemy patterns and stuff like that, it forces you to plan really, really carefully around which options you select, because certain outcomes, certain enemies will spawn, certain encounters will happen, cutscene-wise, stuff like that. And you'll either get items, you'll miss out on items. So for Nemesis over here, the trick to dodging him 100%, I was just checking my inventory here to make sure there wasn't anything that I missed, is to wait until he runs 3 steps, then hold up and right to swerve out of the way of the attack, and then hold up and left. Extra special thank you to Matt DeRock for figuring that out. It's definitely not a speedrun strat, but it's definitely the safest strategy that I've seen to dodge Nemesis around there. Not sure of the success rate, but it's definitely more successful than the speedrun dodges that I was trying before. So for the Gravedigger encounter down here, just hit the button, quick turn, and hope he either spawns here or, well, okay, just really at that hole. Just any hole that is not the hole by the ladder. Because if he spawns at the hole by the ladder, then that's it. You have to shoot him. So now we can free our inventory of all these key items that we no longer need. Feels good, man. And cutscenes.
It looks like we're ready to go. Here, take this.
Also, these are the flame rounds I was talking about earlier for hiding in the kitchen.
Okay. Nikolai won't be joining us.
I understand. I'll operate the cable car. Let's go. It's looking good. Mikhail!
Mikhail!
Jill, get out of the cable car now!
Mikhail, wait, don't!
Get out of here! Hurry!
Mikhail.
No, the brakes are out.
So the reason I chose to jump out here is because it changes the fight with Nemesis at the clock tower so that he has the rocket launcher. We start on the east side of the clock tower as opposed to in the courtyard of the clock tower. And we also get freeze rounds from Carlos. So there is really not much incentive to jump out. I might play around with jumping out when I do kill all runs for shits and giggles, but for now, just know that it's always going to be better straight up to choose to jump out of the train. I realized I had one too many individual grenade rounds in my grenade launcher, so I decided to get rid of them so that I could pick up these gunpowders and mix the freeze rounds necessary for the clock tower nemesis fight and also the garbage compactor nemesis fight.
Carlos!
Phew. Well, we both managed to survive. Maybe we can start helping each other again.
Yeah, it's been rough. But we can rest now.
No, we're the only ones left. There's no rest for the wicked. Here's a gift for you.
So freeze rounds are the preferred ammunition to use against Nemesis Type 2. And they are the strongest rounds to use against Nemesis Type 1. But Nemesis Type 1 can sidestep grenades. This was my inventory problem here. I had the shotgun and the shells on me. I really wanted to get those grenade rounds that were sitting next to the that was sitting on the table earlier. But there we go. You didn't see that. I decided to go out the front door here because I wanted to get in the habit as early as possible. Of course, I didn't even realize that I'd be getting this run tonight, but I wanted to go this way because I'd rather dodge crows and dogs that are going to be like a million miles out of the way of the door than going back through the dining room and getting clipped by a brain sucker. Because either zombies or brain suckers spawn in that dining room that we went through the first time. And spiders always spawn in this room, 100% of the time. Ew, spiders, gross, get it out of your system. This puzzle over here, they changed this puzzle in the 1.1 version of the game so that the solution is always up, down, up, down, up. Because there's some people that are 100% tone deaf. I can see it being a lot harder. But since this is the 1.0 version of the game, gotta do it manually, and I think I got exactly the slowest solution. Almost exactly the slowest solution. There we go. Maybe not tone deaf, but maybe literally deaf. Like Beethoven deaf. To do that puzzle. Which is why it was up, down, up, down, up. And this is the only version where that puzzle is randomized. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure the solution is actually scratched on one of the music boxes in the 1.1 version. As a result of that. Good on you, Capcom. So, I chose to use the light over here and shove Nemesis across the banister so that we never have to encounter him throughout the rest of this section. Although if you use the cord, you get a free item. Just like you do by choosing to hide in the restaurant. So, yeah, this is exactly what I wanted the flame rounds for. Oh, geez, I messed up my quick turns. They're really bad. I was just supposed to quick turn once and head for the door and come back in, but I almost got bit by spiders. By the baby spiders. The baby spiders do cause 1 damage whenever they hit you. And of course, you know, regardless, no hits anyway. No harm must come to Jill. And in order to get rid of them, you just exit and re-enter. I'm waiting for the auto-aim because that's how I know that I'm going to actually hit the spider without fail. So then I exit and re-enter, get rid of the baby spiders each and every time. Of course, I didn't do that for the third spider. I decided to be a dumbass and almost get my ass hit. Oh wait, no, it wasn't in this attempt. Just kidding. I just run around this guy most of the time. Because an individual spider is certainly easier than trying to take the line to deal with the spider in the middle. Just preparing myself for the clock tower encounter, which is the hardest encounter in the game. I'm not really sure if there's a... I'll try to commentate on it as fast as I can. Every detail that I know, but This puzzle, there's 6 different solutions in the US version. I got the 9 o'clock solution. If it's 7 or 9 o'clock, then you put the obsidian in the first slot. Yeah, whatever. You can find this on Game FAQs. It's easy. There's too many solutions for me to go over at all. Same with the water puzzle. This is one of 2 puzzles that I actually require notes for to actually remember. But on the way out, you should just be able to turn and run, because I'm pretty sure the spider spawns on the ceiling most of the time. On the way out of that door. Getting the grenade rounds here to mix up acid rounds in case I can't find them later. Oh, that spider made me a little nervous. It's just like blocking me right there. But this fight, I was pure adrenaline after I got this fight because, like I said, 75% of my no damage attempts fail here. And, you know, I didn't want to fail on the Gravedigger either. But the general strategy is to use the Magnum most of the time and only use the freeze rounds while he's down. I'll upload the VOD of myself getting the no damage run on my second YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/CarcinogenSDA2, which is where I upload all my Let's Plays and stream highlights, like my straight-up Let's Plays, and not all of the structured commentary stuff. But anyways, yeah, so only use freeze rounds while Nemesis is down, and just flowchart the rest. That's about the best thing that you can do, is try to flowchart out as many of Nemesis RNG stuff as possible.
We're saved. Down here! It's finally over. Huh?
Okay, so for this encounter, what you do is you turn to the right a little bit, and then there's a patch of grass on the ground, a light patch of grass. So then I inch forward a little bit, and until Nemesis starts firing rockets, then I fire at him after the rocket explodes, so I don't accidentally initiate an emergency evade. And then while I'm running, I have to hope that he raises his rocket, and then I run all the way over here so that all of his rockets miss. And then I just fucking unload on him right here, at this spot right here. And then I equip the freeze rounds, aim down, and then the cloud will get him for full damage still. And generally it's gonna happen like, oh geez, yeah. So he dislodged here, and because he had one more rocket still, I was just barely able to eke out the no damage from this fight. So I actually got insanely lucky. even though I did exactly what I was supposed to do, he was still almost going to get me. I was like maybe a few frames away from getting shot with a rocket.
Jill! Jill! Hang in there! What have I done? I'm sorry, Jill. Please, wake up! Jill! Jill!
October 1st, night. I woke up to the sound of falling rain. I can't believe I'm still alive. Carlos?
It looks like our roles have been reversed from when we originally met, huh? Don't worry, Jill. This chapel is safe.
I've been infected by the virus, haven't I?
Hey! Take it easy.
I'm okay. Don't feel any pain. But that's what bothers me. If I can't feel anything, then what does that mean?
Don't give up, Jill. I'll take care of you. Whatever you do, don't let that virus beat you.
So the Carlos section is a little bit RNG dependent, but because I actually got the no damage Nemesis encounter, and that was my first time getting that far in a no damage playthrough, I decided to play it exceptionally safe here. Now, while I can get this zombie dodge here most of the time, I didn't want to risk the first zombie that came in on the left going turbo while I was trying to hit the double doors. So I decided to just gun them down with the assault rifle, and you can see I'm using the pistol there, just like aiming at the wall. The reason I'm aiming at the wall is because if the zombies are still alive, then the pistol would have automatically locked onto their hitbox and I would have fired down. So that's just me making sure, 100% sure that they were dead, because there was a lot of blood and I couldn't tell like which ones were bleeding out anymore. In here there can either be spiders or drain demos, and I buffered R1 and X so that I was firing immediately whenever I came into the room, like R1, X, and down, because that first drain demos comes in. That first drain demos has like very, very fast attack. Like he can attack you within a second of entering the room. So I wanted to make sure that I stun locked him as fast as possible. Same with these other guys. I'm very, very lucky that he jumped left there. He kind of had to, because he jumped from a corner. And if he jumps from a corner, then that pretty much forces him to jump left regardless. Carlos can push the bell, we can go through the door. I decided to save a little bit on ammo. I wanted to wait a little bit for the other zombies to come up, but I guess I wasn't in range. This was my first time trying to like blow this particular pattern up with the barrel, but I only got one, which is just as well. I mean, better one than none in my book for this particular encounter. And of course there was one zombie still crawling, because each assault rifle round is as powerful as a regular handgun bullet. So consequently, that also means that sometimes whenever a zombie is in 0 HP, it'll start crawling towards you. And it does that with handguns and handgun type rounds. I I dare say that the hunters with the cancerous growths on them are actually a ways scarier than the other hunters from the mansion. In retrospect, I should have picked up the handgun bullets here because at this point I'm running fairly low on assault rifle rounds, but I needed the assault rifle rounds particularly for hunters. And wherever the random zombie spawn is. Fortunately, I came out way in the green getting out of here. However, as far as rifle rounds were concerned. Going up to the 4th floor first. In the event that there were zombies, I would have just unloaded as soon as the elevator door opened. But it also would have meant that I would be pretty clinched for ammo.
Don't shoot! No! Nikolai? You're still alive?
You saw what happened?
What's going on?
I'm one of the supervisors. That's all you need to know.
Wait!
Hunters in this game are total douchebags, and sometimes they can cancel out of their jump slash and just like run straight at you, so they kind of keep you guessing a little bit. First, I go into this room to check the solution. If there's worms, then I quick turn out of there while noting where the shelf is. The position of the shelf corresponds with the combination of the safe and vice versa. So you can just like go into that room momentarily and be able to tell what the solution is going to be based on where the shelf is. And if the shelf is not on the screen, then there will be zombies on the floor, which means that they will not get you fast enough to check the body on the floor and be able to check the solution. But because I got worms in that room and the shelf was on the right side of the adjacent room, it means that I have to push that shelf on the left side of this room closer to the door, and the solution is 104. I would say that it's more advantageous to go to the 4th floor first as opposed to the basement in the case of an 80% run. In a knife run, you do want to go B3 first. Because of where hunters spawn, it would make it impossible to get to the elevator in time. But by going 4th floor first and winding up in the basement here, there's dynamite on the wall coming back out. And the dynamite is in a better position to kill one of the hunters straight up. And there's also dynamite down here in this room where there's even more hunters. And it's all just in general safer positions. Just another example of the careful planning it takes as far as Resident Evil 3's event design goes. Because the enemy patterns are semi-random, but random enough for you to be like, yeah, I have to be able to do this, this, and this if this happens. And basically you're weighing risk and reward the entire time. Out of the PlayStation games, this one is definitely my favorite. The solution to this puzzle is always 1, 3, and A every single time. Gonna equip the assault rifle for on the way out because we didn't get zombies in the basement. So that means that the zombies are going to appear on the first floor, and consequently, hunters are going to spawn in the basement hallway leading up to the elevator. So I have to be ready for that. The easiest way to do it, there is a way to kill them in one handgun bullet, but I think it's too risky. Just hit R2, fire at the bomb on the wall, and take out the first one, and then hit the corner, and then hit R1 afterwards, and you'll automatically lock on to the other hunter. If you don't, then just hit R1 again, and you'll do it. Then getting the gun ready for these guys. Music is gone, but that doesn't mean that the zombies are dead, so I decided to do a quick spot check on the way out. Carlos is looking down at them, kind of made me a little nervous. So I just wanted to check for zombie landmines on the way out. Because I would have really, really hated to lose a run to that up to this point. And, yeah. Just getting the hell out of here. By the way, I'd like to give a very special shout out to Blarg201 for the crazy amount of money he donated during the course of the run. So, yeah, that. Thanks, Blarg. So Nemesis is popping out of this wall here. We don't gotta worry about him. Just run. Surprising that Nemesis doesn't bust the door down during this cutscene over here, though.
Hey! Are you okay?
Yes. Barely. What's going on?
No way! That monster just doesn't give up!
What? I thought we killed that thing!
No, it's been waiting for you!
He's playing with us. Carlos, do you think that it's unstoppable?
No, I don't think so. I'm sorry, Jill, but I've got to go take care of a few things. Oh, and bad news. Nikolai is still alive.
Nikolai? Are you sure?
Yes. I don't know how, but I do know that he is our enemy. Remember, don't trust him.
To dodge Nemesis coming out of this door over here, hold up and right, and then swerve that way, and then go towards the door. And now all you have to do is just run. It's the speedrun dodge, but it's also 100% safe, because basically as soon as Nemesis realizes that he's not going to hit you, he's already committed to the action, and he's also committed to canceling the attack. But by the time he's canceled the attack, you're long gone. Nemesis attacks really, really slowly in Phase 2. While he does more damage, he's a lot slower, so it's no big deal. I had to check multiple times just to make sure that I had the pack of 6 grenade rounds. Coming out of here, Magnum headshots. We don't really need the Magnum for any more boss fights, so we could just go ahead and use them to use it to take out the vast majority of the enemies here in one go. Had to check and see if it was zombies or hunters. You gotta wait for the initial jumping animation to be finished before his hitbox actually spawns. Then you can actually take him out. As you can see, I tried to aim at him the first time I raised my gun, but my aim didn't snap to him because the hitbox wasn't active yet. I do a blind fire when entering this room to check and see whether it's dogs or hunters. I thought I could save a Magnum round by being fancy. It took a lot longer to aim than I would have liked, and I could have very, very, very easily lost the run there. Stupid, stupid, stupid. After getting so far, that would have been terrible. Chat just friggin' had a heart attack over that. I should have just went ahead and shot him with a Magnum, like I was supposed to do all the other enemies. But I've got 4 flame rounds left. Stupid OCD. Stupid. And the puzzle here, never mind. I solved it. It's too fast. That's about as close to an interactive cutscene as it's going to get with Resident Evil, by the way. The Gravedigger swimming through the ground. The Gravedigger is also another potential choke point. As you can imagine, I was really nervous, but I wasn't going to give up just yet. Man, it still gives me the jitters just thinking about how I passed that. How did that happen? Because he actually trolled me a couple of times during that fight. But we wanted to mix up acid rounds specifically for this. And, this cabin is lit. Oh, right. My capture kind of froze there for a second. Fortunately, I was using Amarek TV and Bandicam, so if there was a problem with the game capture, I could have just hit a button in Amarek and it would have refreshed the feed. But the sound is still going, as you could hear. I got Amarekt, but just barely. Now, if I was recording through Amarek, oh man, that would have been terrible. And we need those grenade rounds there to mix up freeze rounds later.
All supervisors, mission terminated. Return immediately. Repeat. All supervisors return immediately. Over.
I'm quite impressed you've managed to stay alive up until now.
And you seem to be doing a pretty good job of looking out for yourself. How about helping out?
I have no intention of helping you.
Because we're nothing but pawns in all this?
In a manner of speaking, you are. Our employers wanted a detailed analysis of the zombie beings which were created through infection by the T-virus.
You're saying that they deliberately sent in a military unit to be butchered by their creations?
Not exactly. Although the conditions encountered on this operation were extreme, it was an unexpected outcome that the team would be wiped out. We were only required to collect live data from the subjects.
Ah!
Another mutant!
The Gravedigger fight requires 10 acid rounds in the US version. So the strategy goes a little something like this. We're going to fire at him 5 times, popping out of the ground. After we hit L1 and we can confirm that Jill is locked onto him, you can see Jill just kind of barely snap over to the Gravedigger when he pops his head out of the ground. Then you shoot him 5 times, as you're about to see. And after the 5th time, you pause and you wait for him to attack while still holding R1. So then pause and hit X now. That's when you get the dodge. And then he's going to pop his head out of the ground a few times. And then each time he pops his head out of the ground, we give him an acid round. But of course, here's where he starts to troll, because this camera angle right here, I can't tell where I'm going. Actually, I could. He could have got me there. If I was any closer to that camera angle change, I would have lost the run, because input lag at that point, because there's always a pause whenever you change frames, whenever you change camera frames. And that was it. You have to hit him every time he comes out of the ground, though. Because, yeah. So there can either be spiders or worms. If there's a spider, you just pop the first spider you see with flame rounds and then go back up the ladder and come back down, then the spiders will be despawned. But if there's worms, then you have to hug the inner walls. Like, you turn in place and you hug the wall to Jill's left, then you drop down and you hug the other wall to Jill's left, and the second you see worms, you swerve to the right, and then when they launch at you, they will all miss. Worms are obviously the harder of the two to dodge, because with the spiders you can just despawn them. Also, special thank you to Matt DeRock for also finding that strategy. I decided to use flame rounds here. Swerved in, just barely missed the zombie landmine because you can see he didn't bleed out. That was also very, very ballsy despite the way it looked. If I slipped up on my movement even a little bit, and believe me, I was slipping up on my movement a lot, by the time I got to the Gravedigger, I practically forgot how to hold a controller. This is also one of the 2 cases that Magnum bullets spawn in the wild. Again, a little bit of PlayStation freeze there. That happens when you play this game on a PS2. I'd recommend playing this game on a PS1 instead. Or on PSP. No. So this is the last live selection in the game. This also affects which ending you get. But the safest option is to choose jump off. You receive no damage for choosing to just straight up jump off, because Jill just jumps into the water. But the reason we want to spawn down here is because if we chose to push him off, then the room that we're about to enter, when we come down here from the push him off path, which would have started us on the main floor of the disposal facility, then there would have either been hunters or worms here, and you are very likely to get bit by both. So it's better that we come down here and trigger a cutscene instead. Also, not choosing a choice does put you in caution. And you would take the jump off path. Basically, Nemo will Sparta kick you. Nemesis, bleh, bleh. Nemesis will Sparta kick you off of the bridge. Joke ruined. The water puzzle here is one that a lot of people have trouble with. I could post a solution in the description. As a matter of fact, I think I might post puzzle solutions for everything in the description. But for this solution, which is high-low, based on the first block, like the first green line in the topmost row, there's a long block and then there is a low block, like a singular block. So that means that the solution is going to be press A to the left once, B to the right once, and C to the right twice. At least, I think it is. I don't know. Like I said, I have to write down the solution for that one. I have been able to solve it without looking at it, and solve it pretty quickly, but not so much anymore. I kind of need my notes for that, which I will happily copy-paste into the description for you.
Rescuing you is becoming a full-time job.
Thanks, Carlos. I owe you.
Listen closely, Jill. They're going to launch a missile directly into the city as soon as day breaks.
At dawn? But that's only...
I know. We don't have much time left. We have to split up and find a way out of here. And hey, watch out for that traitor Nikolai.
So in this room, there would have been hunters and worms had we gone the other way on the bridge. And there's one of 3 patterns that could happen in this room. And I readied my Magnum pretty much immediately in case I got Drain Demos. But there could have been hunters or Drain Demos. Fortunately, I got zombies just barely coming out of the water. So it allows us to save our ammo and just nuke these guys. You actually only need to kill like 4 of them and just like leave the zombie by the green herbs. Or you could kill him too. I mean, if you're following along at home and, you know, you're trying to just beat the game.
Nikolai?
So here, just freeing up inventory, getting rid of lockpicks and, you know, extra grenade rounds I don't need. I'm still nervous, so that's why, like, my menuing is a little erratic here. I apologize for it being not so clean, but we'll mix up a gunpowder CCC here, and if you combine gunpowder CCC with grenade rounds instead of with the reload tool, then you'll get a buttload of freeze rounds. Exactly enough freeze rounds to be able to take on Nemesis and then some. So like 18 freeze rounds right there. This puzzle here, there is a bit of a glitch. Jill would get like knocked backwards and she'd go, like she's getting hit. But you know, just to, and I mean, like, while it causes 0 damage, I wanted to just like do this the old-fashioned way. Just like keep people from being like, "Hey, you took damage." Baby rage. But anyway, so that gets solved, and push the switch. Just solve it like you see. I just didn't want to have to respond to like a million YouTube comments being like, you took damage there. So I just did it the old-fashioned way, even though it causes like 0 damage to do the glitch. So there's only 2 more sections in the game that could very feasibly end the run here, and that's messing up the stun lock on Garbage Nemesis, and the final Nemesis fight where he just spits acid everywhere and he can also cut you off. But I was able to do the Garbage Nemesis encounter 100% as practiced. No problem. And the trick behind this fight, in the US version, he has 4 phases. Whereas in the Japanese version, he has 3 phases, but in the US version, he has 4 phases, each with less HP per phase.
Please evacuate.
And he has a total of 900 HP that he recovers between phases. So if you, like, get under a phase threshold, then he'll just recover to that phase threshold. But each and every time you knock him out, quote-unquote, he takes a long time to go down and get back up. And also his wind-up is a lot longer. So really, all you need to do here is just fire 3 freeze rounds at a time and wait for the animation to finish. Like this. So for the first phase, hit L1 after the first shot, and the Nemesis will go down, and while he's going down, twinge to the right a little bit so that your freeze clouds do not accidentally hit the acid valve. Because if the acid valve gets hit, then it will completely fuck up the strategy. And on the last phase, he only takes 2 freeze rounds, but he just takes like all of that stun lock each and every time. He barely moves 1 step before you take him down to the next phase. So it's actually a lot easier to get no damage on Garbage Nemesis on the US version than it is in the Japanese version, for pretty much exactly as you saw. I believe that you can replicate the strategy in the American GameCube version, but I'm not 100% sure, because I almost never play that version of the game.
Warning. Missile attack confirmed. All personnel evacuate immediately.
That sure was a garbage nemesis, though, I'll tell you what. So now there's only one more section that can send me back to the title screen. These zombies just get in the way, you know, ain't no thing. Just hold R1 and fire. Even more zombies over here. Just keep popping them. We got plenty of Magnum rounds to spare, and we're gonna get even more Magnum rounds in this room over here. Haha. That's actually the other box of Magnum rounds that spawns in the wild. You can also take down the helicopter here really easily, but because this was my first time getting this far, I decided to just negotiate with Nikolai.
Alive. Such persistence.
Nikolai?
Sorry, but there is no escape from here.
You want to get out of here alone? Is that your plan?
I made certain none of the other supervisors survive. Since I'll be the only one who knows what really happened, I'll have more bargaining power when it comes to discussing my bonus.
Then why kill me? I'm not on their payroll.
They want you eliminated for reasons of their own. The amount is modest, but there is a reward to be claimed upon the confirmation of your death. Although I'm sure I'll miss you, it's time to say goodbye. You can either accept death with dignity or die with regret. It's entirely up to you.
Jill, what happened?
Carlos, Nikolai beat us to the chopper.
I guess this is it then. But I don't want to die in a place like this. This isn't over yet. I'm not giving up, Jill. We still have a chance.
There's a bonus cutscene here of you exit and re-enter after this one.
Jill!
This is John Shep. Over. I've come to retrieve Jill. I can see there's no time left to bring her back. This is the stars. Please come in, Jill. Here. Are you there to come? Come in.
Hey! He just called your name!
Who could it be?
It doesn't matter. We should tell him where we are. That's it. We've got to find a way out of here. Now!
Warning. Missile attack confirmed. Warning. Missile attack confirmed. Emergency level D. All personnel evacuate immediately.
That was a bonus radio call from Barry. Aimed off screen to make sure that I got him. Just like taking wide angles so that I don't get hit by the zombies on the ground. For the final encounter with Nemesis here, we're actually not going to shoot him at all. And instead we're going to let the rail cannon do all the work. The knife strategy is actually, believe it or not, the safest strategy. Because as long as you have 100% mobility, that leaves you free to dodge every single one of Nemesis' attacks.
Checking battery. Warning, there is not enough power to activate the system. Battery connected.
So, a little bit of trivia here. The tyrants over here on the ground are actually part of the same batch that was dropped by the helicopter in Resident Evil 2 in the B scenarios, where you encounter Mr. X. So these are like all of Mr. X's brothers and sisters from the same batch of tyrants. And you can see them like in the walls, on the ground, getting crushed and shit. So, yeah, we gotta push all three of these. You can see here, if Nemesis drops there, then he'll rear up to start spitting. Fortunately, I didn't waste any frames pushing the battery in here. So, the way to get around this particular instance is to quick turn and run and hope that you don't get hit. But apparently I was about half a second off. Sometimes you can spit twice. I still have the Magnum equipped though, specifically to check his position off screen. I want him to be on top of the pile of garbage in the center. Because I want him to be swinging at me from on top of that, because it's easier to dodge that way. And once the cannon has cleared a hole in the garbage the first time, then we're going to try and get Nemesis to come down this way. And of course something was wrong. I noticed something was wrong. He was spinning for some reason. But then coming down, he went right into the cannon's path. So whenever Nemesis gets to the center of the lane, you have to kind of have a little bit of awareness, depth perception to be able to see that. You just run a half circle around the room and back, and that way Nemesis just continues to stay there, and he won't spit acid at you or nothing. And after about 4 volleys, he will be dead. Trying to be a little bit slow, staying near battery number 1. And that's it. That is Resident Evil 3 without taking any damage.
Warning. System overheating. Enter cooldown mode.
Sometimes I like to tap the running button while moving around because it allows me to space them a little better. because this is not a speed run, this is how I end it. Because fuck this guy.
You want stars? I'll give you stars.
Out of all the anticlimactic endings to a Resident Evil game, I think that this is probably the most satisfying. Because you get to blow him up with a rail cannon, and then you get to unload on him with a magnum to finish him off. The thing that won't die finally dies, and it just like registers at the end. And it's just like such a huge cause for celebration. Love it.
Jill, look! Chopper's coming in! Yes!
Thanks, you saved us.
I couldn't let you die.
Is it you?
Are you ready to finish this?
It's coming!
Yeah. It's the end.
That's it. Umbrella's going down.
And now we have a rather unfortunate turn of events. It seems that the President and the Federal Council have passed judgment over the civilians of Raccoon City. The President and Federal Council have ruled that the Bacillus Terminate operation is the best course of action for this extreme situation, and have since executed. Based on that fact, Raccoon City has been literally wiped off the map. Current reports have the death toll surpassing the 100,000 mark. Our hearts go out to those poor civilians of Raccoon City.
So with that, I finally managed to complete all of the original PlayStation Resident Evil games without saving and without taking damage. But Resident Evil 3 was easily the hardest out of all of them. Also, shoutouts to Yasuhisa Kawamura, awesome guy. Huge shoutouts to Matt Durock for helping me figure out a lot of the backup strategies on top of the original no damage strategies that I came up with. Huge thank you to Matt Durock. I actually probably could not have done this without him. A huge thank you to all the people that sat with me while I did this run in my Twitch stream. Love you guys. If you liked this video, you can see this and more at my YouTube channel at youtube.com/CarcinogenSDA. Shoot me a sub. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hashtag YouTube memes. Anyway, next project is Dino Crisis No Save, No Damage. That should hopefully be coming before Resident Evil 7. Also, if you guys want to help to support my future speedrunning endeavors by helping me out with hardware, editing software, stuff like that, there is also a link to my Patreon in the description. #sellout. And also follow my Twitch stream at twitch.tv/CarcinogenSDA. I stream there almost every day. It is my full-time job. But that's it. That's Resident Evil 3. Done without saving and without taking a single hit. A rank is the maximum rank in the US version of the game. S rank is Japan version only. But that's it then. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next video.